Because everyone says I'm an amazing speaker, but we've all been speaking our whole lives. Most of you have been speaking, a lot of you have been speaking longer than me. So why am I better? What's the difference?
And how? You just study better feedback.
I watch myself, feedback, study. If you don't study, you won't get better. I'll give you an example. I'm shit at chess, compared to my dad. I hover between 1600 ELO when I'm really mad, like an idiot, and 1800 ELO in blitz. I play 3-minute blitz games. I've been between 1600 and 1800 ELO for about 8 years. Even though I play chess for about half an hour a day, I never get better. Why? Because I never analyze the games. When my dad would train me, we'd sit down and do the boring analysis. Why? What could you have done? It's the analyze, it's the feedback that makes you better. Why, as a fighter, if you just spar every day, will you never be good? Because you don't train. It's feedback that makes you good at things, not practice. You have to practice, then feedback, always. And communication is one of the most important things because it's something you do every single day, all of the time. If you're going to get good at one thing, you may as well get good at the thing you do most often. And you're all talking all the time. So you may as well get good at it. So you have to analyze yourself. That's the reason I said this and ah thing, to make it difficult for you. I understand it's nervous. I understand you're up here and you're talking in front of people and it's nerve-wracking. But you should be going through your life in general, catching yourself doing it and not allowing yourself to do it. Because that feedback, it won't take long. It'll take 3 months until you find a way to just stop saying it. And it's so unique that you don't realize how many people you're speaking to who do it until you stop. It's like saying, have you ever seen a red car and you drive down the road and every car's red? When I sit and listen to somebody, I'm literally listening to them thinking, fuck, you know, you've been speaking your whole life. You're a dummy, right? Because I don't do it anymore. So it's a pet peeve of mine almost. But you have to self-analyze yourself all of the time. Don't allow yourself to get away with it when you're not in this environment. It sounds like a small thing, but I'm telling you, when you can compendiously, concisely explain your point of view, when you can do what I do, which is machine gun 5 points at once, especially in a debate, it's very hard to argue against me. If you give me a minute, I've made 5 points and linked it into 2 older points, and I've hinted at a future point. And now you have to counter that. And you're like, you're a misogynist. You can't argue with me. That's why the BBC got wrecked. So you have to be very good. If I was saying on my BBC interview, it would have been over. I could have said the same things with a couple ums and ahs, it would have been over. I'm the worst man in the world. So it's battle, it's war. So I want you to all become very, very good with your speech. Because it's an easy thing. It's not difficult. It's not fighting. It's not getting hit. Stop saying stop saying ah. You need a pause to think. So what I will do is I will either literally take a pause and stop. And a lot of that is body language to allow yourself to be given the time to do that. So the second thing I'll do if I make a mistake is I'll repeat myself. So I'll say something like, there's an example. So I'll say. That sounds better than going, so I'll say, and I know English isn't always your first language. I know for some of you people, I'm not as hard because English isn't your first language. I completely get that. It's also the reason I refuse to speak another language because I speak English so well that I don't want to degrade. If you want to speak to me, you speak to me in my language. It's my battlefield, I win. But English is the language of the world, so you may as well get very, very good at it. And it will translate to all of your personal relationships. Your arguments will become shorter. You'll make more money. Everything is from communication. That's why I have a stick, and that's why I have a pet peeve for ums and ahs. Because it's the easiest way to just improve your overall status. Because you also come across extremely confident when you don't use and ah. You look like you know exactly what you're talking about when you don't use and ah. If I say what's 2 plus 2 and you go 4, you look dumb. If I say what's 2 plus 2 and you go 4, you look smart. The makes you look like an idiot. So it's a pet peeve of mine. I just said it's twice. I just did it. So I'm self-analyzing myself all the time to make sure I don't do that. So that's why I've said it before this to make it hard for all of you when you stand up here and you're nervous and you start going But in general life, try not to do it because you'll see your life improve. You'll see your interactions with people improve in real time. You'll notice. I want to be as competitive as possible. I like the idea of anybody on the planet being told that they have to compete against Andrew Tate. Even in shit I'm bad at, ping pong, I can't play ping pong. But they hear my name and they're like, fuck's sake, not him. Like, I want to be seen as ultra competitive, and you do that through competence and winning. You do that through winning, right? So you're saying about what's true and what isn't, and the world is so subjective now, I agree. For me, what I decide what's true and what isn't is the things that allow me to become most competitive. Depression is not real, because that allows me to become more competitive. I don't give a shit what paperwork you pull out your ass and and which depressed person or psychologist comes in here and tries to explain to me how depression works, I'm more competitive if I don't believe in it. Because then when bad things happen to me, it doesn't cross my mind that I might catch depression. It's not even an idea in my me and Tristan are in jail, everyone's depressed, we're smoking cigarettes and dancing around. We can't be depressed because we don't believe in it. So I'll only adopt ideas that make me hyper competitive. And sometimes that's gonna make you very humble. Sometimes it's very competitive to think, hey, I might lose here. Sometimes competitive to be delusional and think you can't lose. If you corner me and there's no way out but to fight and 10 men are gonna try and kill me, I'm gonna believe I can win. Delusional maybe, but it makes me the most competitive. That's what I believe. Fuck you, I've decided. My brain works that way. Which mindset is the most competitive? Which mindset is the most useful to me right now? Which emotion is the most useful to me? I change emotions. We can all change our emotions if we really want to. You could all think yourself sad. You could all think yourself happy. Everyone can do it, but people take too long to do it. You need 10 minutes. Get good at it. Give yourself a few seconds. And then you have to decide which emotion puts me in the most competitive state right now. And you'll often find that happy is not one you choose very often. It's not a competitive emotion to be happy. Oh, I'm happy. Then you don't get done. I like to feel proud all the time. Proud is certainly my favorite default emotion. I like to be proud of what I've done and who I am and what I have. Proud is why I always revert to, which allows me to be competitive. I don't have time to think anything that isn't competitive. Anything that makes me non-competitive to me is not true. So I know exactly what you're saying. I could argue that there are universal truths to the universe, and there are, but if we're gonna accept the mind frame that we all live in our own truth, which I guess is the way the world's fucking going because we're fucked, then your truth needs to be, okay, which mindset, which belief makes me the most competitive, fearsome individual? And then you should adopt that, and then you should be as successful as humanly possible. How do you decide how successful someone is? Is it IQ? No, that's proved not to be the case. I'm telling you what it is your stress tolerance. Because as you get better and as you do more, you're going to come up against more and more stress. They go together, yin and yang, light and dark. Success and stress, boom. Everything you've ever wanted and all the bullshit it comes with go together. That's how it goes. And you're going to get to a certain level along the ladder, and at one point you're going to tap out. Unless you're stupid like me and just go, nah, fuck it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And then you end up with a whole bunch of governments trying to destroy you. And unlimited money. So you're like stuck between the two. So you have to decide where you want to get off on that ladder. But if you truly want to conquer the world, yeah, stress tolerance decides how successful you're going to be. And how you tolerate stress is to accept that stress is good for you. If I don't feel stressed, I get worried. Then I start to feel worried. If I wake up and everything's fine, I'm like, okay, everything's fine. Girlfriend ain't screaming. Business is fine. Police ain't here. Fuck? What's going on? I start to worry now. Like shit. Something else. Now something unexpected is going to come. Better the devil you know. So if I'm not stressed, I feel worried. I need to constantly. The battles I fight on a daily basis, and they're never going to end. I think that's a healthy mind frame to have for the rest of the week. But we're not robots. That means also do your best at relaxing and resting. Right? If you're going to work. Chill. You don't want to be a dim light that's half on. You want to do one or the other. Now, I find chilling and relaxing, I guess this is my personality, it makes it easy, extremely stressful. There's nothing more stressful for me than trying to not do my work. Because if I'm not doing my work, then I'm thinking about the work I'm supposed to do, and I'm more stressed than doing the work. So everyone goes, hey, Andrew, you need to just chill. I'm like, that sounds terrible. That sounds like the most stressful situation to be in. So all I want to do is work. But occasionally, if I do need time off, if I need 5 minutes or whatever, my brother and I have actually developed a new habit, canasta, which is a game, two-handed canasta.
Two-handed canasta. We're learning classic card games.
Because he's like, Andrew, you're working 18 hours, you're just staring at that screen, you're mad at Keir Starmer in the UK, just chill.
You haven't been
play
there in 4
two-handed
years.
canasta, it's gonna be fine. I can play for 5 minutes and it's kind of relaxing before I get anxious again, I want to get back to work. But if you're gonna do something, you should be doing your absolute best at it. What's the point in doing anything if you're not going to do your best at it? And it's amazing how things can translate. If you do your best in one thing, it's not only the fact that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, but if you do your best in one thing, it can radiate out across your entire life. That's the greatest thing about being a man. As a man, when you upgrade your life and you become a better man, by extension, you automatically improve the lives of all of your friends, of your woman, of your children, of your community, of your country. We radiate. It's amazing. You can put a little bit more effort in bed with your girlfriend, make her a little bit happier, gives you a little bit extra time to work. Before you know it, you got a Bugatti. Boom. That's how I got mine. But putting in that extra effort pays off, dividends. And you can look at it spiritually. You can be philosophical about it and say that God rewards people who try hard. That's how I like to see it. God is literally looking at all of us, no matter which God you believe in. He's saying, all these people I've created, who's thankful? Because any one of us could have lost our eyesight to bacteria at age 2. Any one of us. And we didn't. So he's saying, who's thankful enough for what they have that they're trying their absolute best with it all of the time? Because if you do that, he's like, I like this guy. I like him. He's cool. Give him blessings. Give him something. It's amazing what comes your way. If someone were to say to me, Andrew, if you make an extra dollar, or if you throw an extra punch, endless blessings will come your way, it would be disingenuous of me to sit and say I couldn't do that. So tomorrow you're going to have to stand up and tell me what you've been doing your best at. You have to be honest. But if you analyze and you realize it's nothing, then you should be happy because you all live pretty good lives. And if you look around you, you're better than most of the men around you, and you're not even fucking trying. You know, it's amazing. We go from children to adults. When you're a kid, you expect the adults to be smart. And it's the same with like fame and money, right? I went from absolute no money to super wealthy and nobody knowing me to like famous. Everyone's a f***ing idiot. I'm telling you now. There's very few impressive people on this planet. You can go meet Elon Musk, who I actually quite like. I've never met him as an example. Richest man in the world, or a politician, or a superstar. You meet these people and you're like, how? Bro, it's seriously, that's what you think in your head. I'm just sitting there like, bro, how? They're not impressive people. There's nothing special about them. Everyone in here could surpass any of them. They're not that special, they're not that impressive as individuals. And especially at the upper echelons, they don't take any self-accountability. They don't look at themselves ever. They don't self-feedback ever. So they actually become less impressive over time. And they don't realize, because there's enough people pretending to like them or whatever else. So I want you to actually think about what you've done your complete best at. And then I want you to try and apply the analogy of focused, because I focused my power into one knuckle and did more damage than any of you could ever do. Because to hit me with the flat of the hand and do the same damage I did, you would have to hit, how much bigger is that than the point of the knuckle? 30x? You'd have to hit 30 times harder, which is you're not going to pull off, right? So it doesn't matter how hard you swing, it didn't hurt me. So I could just stand there. You don't want that. You want me to be like, I better move, better be smart. But I want you guys to apply this because my brother and I, and he's probably my self-accountability buddy.
Whatever.
We keep each other in check so fantastically. And it's even a bit extreme. Like, we're not allowed to nap.
Ever.
If we're tired, we can't nap.
You have to sit across your brother and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes or cigars and make a point that you're tired but you're not napping. Because if you nap, you're for a week. You don't get over it. Well, you were fucking napping yesterday and it hurts. And it's like, well, you fell asleep at 6 p.m. I'm like, he's got me. I'm a bitch. So yeah, no, the accountability goes way too far. We take it to...
We're resilient with everything. With being tired. Like if me and him are on a three-day drive, we'll sit there. And as soon as one of us goes hungry, are you a girl? Hungry, need food.